Right, back live with you tonight, John in Focus. Let's get a response to that. Then the DA accusing the Premier in particular of being late to the State of the Province address and being inattentive. Gauteng spokesperson for the ANC, Lesego Makhubela, joining us. Good to have you, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it seems your caucus there is disrespectful of the legislature and doesn't want to sit and be held accountable.
So probably today, let me take off the cap of being a spokesperson.
Yeah.
And become the chief whip,
yeah,
because I'm the chief whip of the majority party in the legislature. I've sent your producers and yourself a live recording of the proceedings in the House, from the time the Speaker walks in the House with a mace up until we left the House. They found Lesufi in the House, seated. It's there. It's on YouTube. It's on all channels. You can play it here. It shocks me that a person who would have been a fossil fuel of the legislature, who's been there from 1994, would come during primetime TV and lie like that. I wonder what kind of lies has he told, or what more lies is he going to tell. We understand it's a silly season, but lies do have short legs. I've just sent you the entire recording of the House proceedings, you know, from before even the maze arrives. Lesufi went to greet them, spoken with them, shook hands with them, until the Speaker walks in. I'm speaking as a chief whip, seated in the gallery. I cracked the whip on the discipline of the members of the ANC. So it's a lie. Maybe let me tell you the truth. In the video that I've sent you, in the live recording that I've sent you, which is on YouTube, it can't be altered by any form of technology. When Lesufi stood up to respond to them, they left. So what they are accusing Premier Lesufi of doing is what they exactly did. I want you to play it for your viewers, because it's on YouTube. You can get the feed, you can connect it and plug it in. They left. They made flimsy statements. I mean, I'm listening to Jack Bloem. He says Lesufi made lofty promises. It's not the case. I mean, he gave a simple, detailed speech. His maiden speech in 2023, he promised that we will add technology to fight crime. We'll get drones, we'll get helicopters, we'll now increase the foot on the ground and the eyes on the ground. Yeah. We got wardens. We got 3 helicopters. We're adding 2 more. We have a panic button. It's here. Yeah. You can download it, you can check it on your Android, or if you're using an iPhone, you can check. Just check Gauteng panic button. It is there. We've done it. There are drones. We're working with the police. You could see the number of cash in transit heists. Yeah. Were fueled by these helicopters Lesufi was speaking about. Yeah. We spoke about fighting.
I'm going to come to some of those things, but I will. We'll try and get a cut of it and play it at a later stage. I don't know if we can immediately do it, but let's talk about some of the allegations that being made that you could have maybe walked out because you did not want to listen to the leader of the EFF.
Why would we do that? The leader, let me tell you about the EFF. There's a leader of the EFF who has not come to the legislature earning a salary for 7 years. That is the provincial secretary. We have asked the Speaker to take him to task to return every cent of the taxpayers' money for 7 years. Doesn't attend committee meetings, doesn't do oversight work, doesn't come to any house sitting, only comes once during the State of the Province address to throw bottles at people and everyone. Why wouldn't we want to listen to what the opposition is saying? Because we are not allergic to criticism. In fact, some of the criticism which is constructive, which is made, we listen to it and we act on that particular criticism. Why would we leave when the EFF speaks? The EFF, if you're in your show one day, you need to do this. Because for the benefit of a vibrant democracy, as well as to actually unmask who is sitting in the legislature, go and check the members of the EFF who are in the legislature. Firstly, ask yourself the level of their education. The highest level of it is grade 12. They don't have anyone with any post-matric qualification at the legislature. Maybe one person there I know has some certificate of beauty, whatever. But there's nothing there. Even the criticism is not constructive. But we listen to it nonetheless. Hence, I'm saying to you, I'm referring you to a live feed for 4 hours of the House proceedings. And then it will tell you that the old man, the veteran of the legislature, Jack Bloem, came to your show and lied to your viewers. And there's no need for that. Because in a minute, you are going to show him that he's lying.
So let's then talk about the uncomfortability of it, that some of the claims that have been made are claims that are not born in fact. For example, the issue of, you are raising the issue of CCTV cameras, right?
Yeah.
The EFF has come out to say this thing of CCTV cameras is theirs. They came up with this a long time ago. It's not an invention of the ANC in Gauteng.
That is madness. That's why I keep saying, roll your cameras. The 2023 State of the Province address, Lesufi says we have to connect, especially hotspots in Gauteng, in townships, on the highways, on some of the critical hotspots in Johannesburg and everywhere else. He says it. He says we must partner with the private sector, private security companies to be able to do that. He goes and do it, and they come and say no, it is ours. I don't really understand it, because journalists and TV shows like yours must be able to have the capacity to research deeper and say, Lesufi, what did you say in 2023? What have you achieved?
Yeah. But what is the difference? Because I've had Mcini Chwaku, he sat there, he showed me the cameras. We went and we saw it and put up, they've got solar and whatever. So the cameras have been there.
Yeah.
It's not something that he's just saying. Right?
Yeah.
The city of Johannesburg has had CCTV cameras before the 6,000, which was about two weeks ago.
Of course.
That contract was signed. Yeah.
Yes. Well, so those cameras were there in the city of Johannesburg, put and installed by the ANC-led government, right? When the DA took over, just like in Tshwane, by the way, for instance, there were cameras in Tshwane. In the whole CBD of the city of Tshwane, the ANC had put cameras. Go and check if they are working. They are not. They were switched off when the DA took over. The cameras of Johannesburg, you can just simply roll your camera and check. Those cameras were switched off. We've brought them back to life. And we have went to areas where there's never been eyes, where there's never been cameras. We've installed cameras. We've put those cameras in, for instance, in Gazangulu, in Atteridgeville. We put those cameras. We've put cameras on small streets. Other areas I can't tell you because of the sensitivity of alerting criminals. We've put cameras at the hotspots, working with the police. Police are giving us data and are saying, this is a crime hotspot. This is where we need to put eyes on. We've put cameras at hostels where many of the criminals are hiding. We've put cameras there so that we can have more eyes. We've been putting cameras where there's not been, and the ones which were deactivated. If you go to Tshwane, we had cameras that were working. In Johannesburg, those cameras were installed by Mayor Pakstau when he was a mayor of Johannesburg. They were switched off when Mashaba took over. Right? And so these are some of the things that are there. So when you...
So his agreement with Vumacam is quite recent. So you're saying he was just merely reviving cameras that were already there?
Remember, Vumatel has laid dark fiber across the province. So for you to have live cameras to connect them and be able to access them now, crime is happening now. The provincial government will not have enough time to be able to lay as much dark fiber as Vumatel has. And that's why, even in his maiden State of the Province address, he made it clear that we must partner with private sector, which has moved. So Vumacam had already put dark fiber. So we're plugging on the dark fiber that they've put to put those cameras. It's a technology that exists. Then we're plugging into it. We're building our own back-end office where these cameras will be integrated with the police technology so that police are able to respond to not just police, but even in areas where there's private security. If private security is able to arrive at a crime scene first, they will. If police are able to arrive at the crime scene first, they will. If Metro Police is able to arrive at so that's what we're doing. It's not about populism. Yeah. It's about resolving a problem. It's not about, I came with this idea. Yeah. It's about ensuring that we safeguard the lives of our people. So I'm addressing that, but I'm also addressing the lies that have short legs. Yeah. We came with an idea. How can people who we sit with in the legislature, their highest level of education is grade 12, come with such inventive ideas. That's the EFF.
He's a PhD.
Where? In the legislature?
No, I'm saying the person who says he came up with the Vumacams before.
Just roll your camera.
He's a PhD student.
Just roll your camera.
He's not a matric student.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the other issue that you're raising, the issue of policing on the ground, right? I'll connect it to the fact that the premises has created employment. Many are saying that there's no new employment that you've created. These are posts that were meant to already be filled in government. You just redirected those funds and hired crime prevention wardens.
Desktop research will tell you there were never posts advertised like that were unfilled, that were vacant. We recognize that there was a challenge. We recognize that there's a serious problem of crime. And part of it is that we did not have enough eyes on the ground and enough boots on the ground. And that's when he started coming with and approached the ANC and said, we have to come with Nasispan and be able to go. Because what we did is that we interacted with communities. There were some communities that had already started to safeguard themselves through community CPFs. In Ekurhuleni, there's a very effective group called Tata Zonke who recover stolen cars and all sorts of. The people who were employed in these crime wardens were transplanted from communities who were working as CPFs, not earning any salary, not having the kind of resources that the provincial government provides them with. Then we brought them. Those were not vacant posts. And by the way, the provincial government cannot go and advertise jobs for police. And that's why we at Leila, I remember we had this discussion on your show on why we deliberately term them crime prevention wardens. So those posts don't exist. Hence I'm saying that this debate which was there in the House, I don't think anyone will just walk away from it like Bloem was claiming. Because people are just throwing things that don't exist. They are not throwing facts. They are not questioning the real hard cold truths and facts about these interventions that we have come up with to try to fight crime in Gauteng.
Yeah. The other response is they are ill-trained. I think it was Dunga, who I spoke to immediately after the State of the Province address, who said that the crime wardens are not properly trained to deal with the kind of crime that the Gauteng province is dealing with.
Crime is happening now. It's sort of an emergent issue. People are being robbed, people are being killed, businesses are being robbed and everything. What do? You wait for 2 years to train crime wardens so that you can have eyes on the ground and then you can have feet on the ground. No, you don't. You take them to a course. You train them for 6 months like they have, and you continuously take them through training while the boots are on the ground and their eyes are fixed on the criminal activities that are taking place in Gauteng. And that's why we had to decisively respond without wasting time. I mean, if people we had serious protests in one of the townships, I think it was Diepsloot, in fact. With serious protests that were happening in Diepsloot, what do? Do you go to those communities and say, just give us 2 years? We're still training people. We've called the FBI, CIA, SWAT, everyone. They're going to train them, then we'll come back. No. You might come back, that community is not there. You give them adequate training. You give them basic training. Then you are able to then send them there. And while they are on the job, then you are able to continue to train. The wardens still continue to undergo training to this day. Even after the minister has signed that they can be armed, we still are taking them through the training while they are on the job, while we have more eyes on the ground, while we have boots on the ground to deal with some of the situations that I imagine. We can't wait and say, no, we want to take them for 2 years to a police training. It can't happen.
Let's wrap it up with why we called you here. Do you hold your caucus as the chief accountable? Are they always in the legislature when they need to be in the legislature? And what do you do to those who don't attend legislature?
I don't have members who don't attend. I'm saying I have a member of the EFF who has not attended one single meeting in 7 years and draws a salary, stays in Limpopo, lives in Limpopo. We released a statement about it, I know I came. I don't know if it was you that I spoke with. And we are dealing with it because we need to recoup every single cent that he would have earned from the Gauteng provincial legislature, because that money belongs to the hard-working taxpayers who are residing in Gauteng. I don't have ill discipline within my caucus. I don't have members that don't attend meetings of the legislature. I don't have members of the ANC that don't go to constituencies. I don't have members that simply abscond. So I don't have to crack my whip has been sitting under my bed for a very long time. Right. I yearn to just release it and unleash it on someone.
Let's leave it there. Much appreciated. Thank you for your time. Lesego Makhubela, the Chief Whip of the ANC in the Gauteng legislature.